What is up, though, Lions fans? This is your boy, Motor City Don P. We are back here once again. You already know what it is. Shout out LNU, the whole fam, everybody in it. And you already know what it is when you see me in front of your TV. One thing is for certain and three things are for sure. Number one, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. And number three, perhaps the most important number of them all, number three. We want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And you may be asking yourself, how, Don? Or you asking me, not yourself, because I'm Don P. How, Don? How, Mr. P, does one keep their Lions news pragmatic? Well, it's very simple. I'm glad you asked, and I will tell you how to do just that. Smash like button, subscribe, share, and in any order that you've done it in, you've done it, and you've kept your Lions news pragmatic. Now, the other thing, the last thing, maybe the first thing, maybe the middle thing is sharing, because sharing is indeed caring. So when you've shared this stream with your mothers, your brothers, your uncles, your sisters, your cousins, your mothers, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your friends, your family, you name it, you have indeed cared about those people. We got some things that we got to get into today. What up, though, everybody in the chat? What up, though, Tactical Sport, and others that will be coming along? Listen, man, I don't want to say this off the bat. I'll wait for other people to get in the chat. But excuse me, I got my cinnamon stick. This is cinnamon. Okay. This is cinnamon. You see how that looks? That is cinnamon. It ain't a blunt. It ain't no weed. It is cinnamon. Chew on it sometime because my throat still, I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? To help with the little that I got going on right now. Bro, I need more subscribers. If you are not a subscriber to Motor City Cats on YouTube, you need to subscribe. You just go over there and subscribe. I got the link for you. You need the link. I can give you the link. I mean, if that's all you need, if that's the only thing that's stopping you from being a subscriber to the Motor City Cats, well, then is that the only thing? Is that all you need? You just need the link. Well, here, I'm going to provide it for you right now. I'm going to put this in the chat for you right now, because the situation is this. Your boy sees football, right? A lot of people watch football, but they don't see football, right? A lot of people hear, but they don't listen. You understand what I'm saying? I'm doing something very active. It's like I got the glow. It's like I'm the golden child. Shout out if you know, you know. If you don't know the golden child, where have you been? You must be too young. But I don't like to toot my own horn, so I won't toot it. But all I'm going to say to you is this. You know me. I say men lie, women lie, numbers lie too. That's my whole thing. Men lie, women lie, numbers lie too. Now, they have this thing and they say, don't believe your lying eyes. They believe that your eyes are lying to you. What is most likely not to be lying to you? Well, that is your eyes. And that is why I am an eye test guy. What are you talking about, Don P? What are you talking about right now? You are an eye test guy. Yes, I am an eye test guy. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. You see Jonathan Taylor on the thumbnail, whether you're at LNU or whether you're on Motor City Cats, you see Jonathan Taylor on the thumbnail. Now, why is Jonathan Taylor on the thumbnail? What does Jonathan Taylor have to do with the Detroit Lions? He's not a Lion. Could he be? It is trade season. The trade deadline is next week. What's happening? Is he getting traded? Are the Detroit Lions rumored to be trading for Jonathan Taylor, for David Montgomery and a pack of Skittles and a Faygo Pop? No, that's not happening. Okay, that's not happening at all. Okay, Jonathan Taylor is not getting traded. Jonathan Taylor is going to be a Colt probably for life. If they're smart. I mean, there was that little tiff that they had a couple years ago, and they didn't want to pay JT and all this other stuff. But y'all must have forgot. Jonathan Taylor is on the thumbnail. And the show is talking about the cream rising to the top. Why do I talk about the cream rising to the top? Well, because all I hear from Lions fans all the time is, hey, the numbers say our offense does such and such. The numbers say our offense is ranked here. The numbers say our offense is ranked there. The numbers say our offense is ranked everywhere. Here, there, everywhere. Okay, cool. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with what the numbers say. But what my eyes tell me is something a bit off. I start with the running game because Jonathan Taylor today, this year, is the best running back in football. I can prove it to you with numbers. All right. So let's see what Jonathan Taylor's current stats are. Okay. Jonathan Taylor's current stats for this season. He has 143 carries. He had 850 yards. He has 12 touchdowns. That is 5.9 yards per carry. Jonathan Taylor this year hasn't scored touchdowns in every game. No, he hasn't. Because what he does is he scores multiple touchdowns in the games that he scored. And 4 times this year, he scored 3 touchdowns. That gives you 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So that means that in the 7 games that they played, have they played 7 or have they played 8? Hold on. Let me see here. 8. Okay. They play 8 games. So that means he scores every other game. And he doesn't just score 1 touchdown every other game. He scores 3 touchdowns every other game. Are you following me? Because while we may have the best tandem of running backs in the NFL, the best running back resides in Indianapolis right now. And this is not to poo-poo the Lions, because the Lions have phenomenal players. They have a phenomenal team. They have phenomenal offense. I'm not poo-pooing my team. All I'm doing is pointing out to you with your numbers, because a lot of people like to use numbers to disprove the eye test. And a lot of people use numbers alone without the eye test. But I can prove to you that the eye test always supports the numbers. The numbers don't always support the eye test. You see how that is, right? You see how that is? It's just like the old saying when we get into geometry, that every rectangle is a square, but not every square is a rectangle. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every rectangle is a square, but not every square is a rectangle. Right? Every isosceles is a triangle, but not every triangle is an isosceles. Can I get an amen? Do y'all understand what I'm saying to you right now? What up, though, Jody Carruthers? All right, I got some more numbers for you. I ain't done. Okay, so Jonathan Taylor and the Indianapolis Colts, after 8 games, have the best record in football. They are 7-1. They are 7-1. and 1. And you might be like, well, their division sucks and they haven't played anybody. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. Who have they played? They played the LA Rams. Okay. And they lost to the LA Rams. That was the first week of the season. And they haven't lost since. No, that wasn't the first week. Hold on. Because that was the 29th of February. So I think that was like the second, third week. Okay. They played the LA Rams. Okay. They played the Las Vegas Raiders, who are garbage. They played the Arizona Cardinals, who are garbage. But the Arizona Cardinals being garbage, I mean, they did give the Green Bay Packers a run for their money just a week ago. It was all good about a week ago. Shout out if you know, you know. Mitch caught a body about a week ago. Okay, anyway. Prime snitch material right there. Then they played the Los Angeles Chargers. It's a good team, right? Los Angeles Chargers a good team. They played the Tennessee Titans, who are not great. Okay? Who are not great. Let's see who else they played. All right. Okay. So they played the Miami Dolphins, which was a drubbing, 33-8. They played the Denver Broncos, very close game, 29-28. Now, the Denver Broncos are known for defense. Okay. In the game against the defense led Denver Broncos, Jonathan Taylor rushed for 165 yards. Against the Miami Dolphins, I guess Jonathan Taylor didn't do a whole lot. He rushed for 71 yards on 18 carries. Okay. Of course, in the win versus the first win against Tennessee, he rushed for 102 yards. And in this particular win against Tennessee, he rushed for 153 yards. Okay. So there are some good wins in there, and there are some not so good opponents. Well, the Detroit Lions went like this. We lost to the Green Bay Packers. We beat the Baltimore Ravens, who I'm sorry. We lost to the Green. I'm gonna do it in order. We lost to the Green Bay Packers. Then we played the Bears. And the Bears at the time, we put 52 on them. Then we played the Baltimore Ravens, and we didn't know it was a precursor to the Baltimore Ravens being trash, but they weren't trash at the time. Okay. So that was 2 quality opponents out of 3 games. Okay. Then we played the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns at the time had the number 1 overall defense in the league. Okay. We beat them. Then we played the Cincinnati Bengals. We beat them. Then we played the Kansas City Chiefs and the refs, and we couldn't overcome them. And we had the worst showing offensively since week 1 when we played the Green Bay Packers. Okay. Then we had the Buccaneers, and we beat them, and we showed out a little bit on offense with Jahmyr Gibbs. And we know how that went. Okay. So the only reason that I'm telling you this is the cream rising to the top. The Detroit Lions are 20th in third down efficiency. They're 20th in third down efficiency. We're not doing well. I told you guys the stat the last time about us being 0-20 in third and 10 plus. If it's 10 yards for third down, we cannot right now, because we haven't done it in all the 20 opportunities that we've had to do it. We cannot convert a third down on 3rd and 20. It is literally impossible right now. We've had 20 cracks at it. We've had 0 success. Okay. Now, if we want to talk about the jumbo formations that we used to run all last year, and I'm just talking about the running game right now. If we want to talk about the jumbo formations that we ran all last year, maybe the health of Taylor Decker does have something to do with that, because we are way down the totem pole in the amount of times that we run the jumbo formation, because we don't have maybe the flexibility to have Dan Skipper out there along with Taylor Decker. But then you ask yourself the question here: did we intend to run this formation from the beginning of the year? Because from the beginning of the year, guess who wasn't on the active roster? Dan Skipper. Were we going to run that formation with Giovanni Manu? Possibly. But Dan Skipper wasn't part of the equation from week number 1. When we came out of training camp, Dan Skipper was on the practice squad. And he did not get elevated until later on in the year. Okay? So this is what I mean by something is a little bit off. Now, there was another thing that happened this week, and I want to know. Hold on one second. Let me refresh this. Okay. All right. There was something else that happened this week with a bunch of offenses. Okay. There were a lot of blowouts this week. There were a lot of bad games on, which were boring to watch, right? They weren't very competitive at all. It just wasn't what it was. But there were some performances out there. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks. We know Aiden Hutchinson has a 4.5 sack game, so it's not like we're saying anything about that. All right. Jonathan Taylor did his thing, exploded, had 3 touchdowns. And there were some others. So my question is now this: as we are getting ready to play a lesser opponent in the Minnesota Vikings, because who are the Minnesota Vikings? Carson Wentz, done for the year. Now we got JJ McCarthy coming to town. And when last seen, JJ McCarthy didn't play well. When last seen, JJ McCarthy lost to Michael Penix, who also recently got benched. And then Kirk Cousins comes in and lays an egg, right? 34-10 final score. Miami of all teams. I'm pretty sure that the Atlanta Falcons looked at the Miami Dolphins as a win on their schedule. It's just a win. That's going to happen. And then they get blown out, right? So I say that to say JJ McCarthy looked horrible against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Atlanta Falcons at the time were competing for the number 1 overall defense with the Cleveland Browns. Okay. But I'm not sure that they're doing that now after giving up 34 points. What up, though, Lamico Cardenas? All right, so let's see. We've only been talking about the running game. Okay. So there are some other things going on in here. Let's see what it was. I wanted to check this one out. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the passing game. I understand that everybody says that you have to look at the safeties. You have to look at the coverage being shown or being played. And this is why J-Mo cannot get the ball. It's not possible. It's not feasible. We just can't get this man the ball. It's just not possible. We cannot do it. The reason that I talked about Jonathan Taylor to open this was not just because I'm saying he's the best running back in football. I'm saying that he is the focal point of their offense, and he's still doing what he's doing. You get it? You understand the parallels? Jameson Williams is not going to be the focal point of the offense. Jahmyr Gibbs is mostly, if you had a focal point, it would be Jahmyr Gibbs or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Right? You're going to get Jahmyr Gibbs his touches, and it's going to be a lot easier because he's a running back, and all you have to do is turn around and hand the football off to him. Amon-Ra St. Brown is around the line of scrimmage. It's like a long handoff. You throw him a quick slant, right? Little bubble screen, which please don't do that. Stop doing that, please. Okay. All right. You throw him a little hitch, a little comeback, right? Slant across the middle, a little dig, right? A little in route, out route. All of these things can be done within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So it's very easy to get that player the football. Okay. Shout out TaylorMade Media, wherever you are. Okay. Now, I understand all these other people. F your parlay. This, that, and the third thing. I don't bet. So I'm not talking to you from a gambler standpoint. I ain't got no parlays. I don't have any money or skin in the game. All I want is for my offense to be more dynamic. And by refusing to break the coverage, okay, so here's the thing. Everyone says the coverage. And then we accept the coverage, which means it is a different thing that Johnny Mo was saying and what Johnny Mo is doing. Because when Johnny Mo came in, he said he was going to dictate to the defenses what they were able to do. Now, the defense is dictating to us what we are able to do. We are going to take this player out of the game plan. You are not going to throw deep to Jameson Williams. And my question all season has been, why must you throw it deep to Jameson Williams? Is he not dynamic? Is he not a playmaker? Can J-Mo not get yak? Have we not seen him get yak? Have we not seen him on jet sweeps? Have we not seen him around the line of scrimmage? I mean, I don't want Osama bin Johnson back. I'm not pining for the days of Osama bin Johnson, but my thing is, okay, I don't know what happened to the mic. All right. But that's all it is right now. A bunch of blah, 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 blah. Nothing happening. But if not for the Lions not having a mobile QB, this is a non-discussion. I don't know. I still, if the Lions had a non-QB, I mean, if the Lions had a mobile QB, I still want J-Mo with the football because J-Mo runs a 4-1, according to him. Okay? Whether it's a 4-1-9, a 4-1-7, whatever it is, guess what he runs? He's the fastest person on your team, arguably the fastest person in the NFL, right? It's either him or Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy gets the ball. I'm just saying, when he's in the game. All right. But here's this article. Okay. The article comes from Detroit Lions on SI by Vito Chirco. He says how Lions can improve usage of Jameson Williams. Again, if you are here like F your parlay and all that other stuff, I'm not betting. I don't have any money riding on any of this. I never have. I never will. I've never done it. I don't bet. I don't gamble. I needs my money. Okay. When I work for my money, which is all the time, I needs to have it and I needs to be able to use it. I'm not putting it to chance. None of that. I just don't do it. Okay. So this isn't a gambler's conversation. This is a let's open up this offense. So if it says it's top 3, let it look like it's top 3. Don't just let us be top 3. against whatever the competition may be. Let us be top 3 all the time. Let us be top 3 against Kansas City. Right? Let us be top 3 against the Green Bay Packers. Now, I understand the Green Bay Packers was the first game of the season and they caught us. We got rookies on the offensive line. They got to gel. We don't have Frank Ragnow. I get it. There's a lot of things that we don't have. Right? And there's a lot of things going forward that we will have to address. We will have to address the offensive line. We'll have to address the center position. We'll have to address the left tackle position. We must, if we want to get back to being able to say that we're the number 1 offensive line. We've been the last few years the number 1 or the number 2 offensive line, and it's been between us and Philly. We are no longer in that conversation. And that's where some of the struggles lie. I will tell you that 100%. That's where a lot of the struggles lie. Okay? If we're talking about taking deep shots to JMO, just the deep shots, well, Jared Goff needs a little bit more time. Jared Goff needs 1 more beat or 2. Jared Goff needs a half a second more to be able to load up and throw that thing down the field. He needs that, and he's not getting that. Cool. I got you. But the discussion is about how to improve the offense because just as Dan Campbell says, there are things to improve upon. So I don't want to hear about the ranking of the offense when the eye test tells you it's a little bit something different and you can see the holes and you can see the things that need to be improved upon. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how to improve upon the things that need to be improved upon so that our team can be better. That's it. That's all we want. This isn't an I told you so. This isn't none of that stuff. We want our team to be better. We are Detroit Lions fans. Let's make the Detroit Lions better. The defense is doing phenomenal. Whether it's the Legion of Whom, whether it's the starters, the defensive rankings are up. Right? Kelvin Shepherd has been a markedly better improvement at the defensive coordinator position so far. He has been. You know, his philosophies, the way he looks at the defense. I told y'all in the offseason that he was going to look at the defense, linebackers out. Right? And when you look at the defense, linebackers up, linebackers back. You got linebackers, defensive line, you got linebackers, secondary. You're right in the middle. Linebackers are often the middle linebacker, the green dot guy, Jack Campbell, quarterback of the defense. Some defenses do it with safeties, but quarterback of the defense is generally going to be your middle linebacker. That's why they have the green dot. And also, our linebackers call their own blitzes. They have autonomy. They can check in and check out of certain plays. Shep calls a play, they can check in and check out. And he said he's not going to question them in game. He said he may ask them what they saw, but he has all the trust in the world in those guys. Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes. So when they get together and they communicate, hey, check this, blitz this, do that. This is the down and distance. This is the situation. And they recognize that. He trusts it. He empowers his players. Cool. This is not a Shep discussion. There's nothing to discuss. Has the defense been perfect? No. Has the defense had a couple stinker games? Yes. But overall, are you happy with the defense? I'm probably going to say yes for all of you. Like, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, pause. But are you happy with the defense? Overall, I would say yes. Right? Are you happy with the offense? The numbers say you should be, right? And I'm not telling you that the offense is particularly struggling or that the offense sucks or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying when you say it's top 3, does your running game look like the Indianapolis Colts, who have the number 1 offense in the league right now? Does your running game look that way? I'm just asking you the question. Just what does it look like? Use your eyes. Use your eyes. Okay. Does the running game look like the Indianapolis Colts? Does your running back or either of your running backs have 12 touchdowns through the first 8 games of the season? And that's rushing. I think he has 2 receiving touchdowns as well. Right? There's a lot of long runs that Jonathan Taylor goes on. We've gotten one from Jahmyr Gibbs all year. And with Jahmyr Gibbs, y'all, whenever y'all watch the games with me, I tell y'all, it always seems like Jahmyr is just that one person away. Like just that one person got a hand on his ankle. And had he not gotten his hand on his ankle, had he been blocked, he would have taken it to the house. Well, nobody got a hand on his ankle on that 78-yard jaunt on last Monday night. Nobody did. And that's what we want to see consistently. You feel me? Because that shouldn't be a once a season occurrence for a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. It shouldn't be. And especially now that you are featuring Jahmyr Gibbs, right? To the point where Dan Campbell said, yes, I would like the carries to be divvied up more evenly between Monty and Gibbs. So you had gotten away, Johnny Morton, from the dynamic duo, as it were. You had gotten away from that, and you just went on ahead with Batman. Right? You was like, I don't really need Robin too much right now, which in the comic books, most people don't have too much use for Robin until he became Nightwing and he was, the leader of the Titans. And we don't have to talk about all that. All right. But you kind of got away from that. And now that you've gotten away from that, what is the output? What is the outcome? Right? Is Jahmyr Gibbs up there in yards? Yep. Cool. Could he be higher? Yes. Could he have more 100-yard rushing games? Yes. This was his first 200 total yard game, right? Could he have more of those? Yeah, I want to see these things. Not saying it's going to happen. Not saying we're going to get perfection. I'm just shooting for it. That's all. All right. That's what I mean by having a mobile QB. I think getting JMO the ball would be easier, but without OC John Morton. So again, so you want to can him too. All right. Now, and I get what you're saying, right? I get what you're saying. Pressure. If I've got Lamar Jackson, which again, Lions fans, be sensitive. And I'm not trying to tell you, hey, let's replace Lamar Jackson or let's replace Jared Goff with Lamar Jackson. We don't have the ability to do that. But what you're saying is, yeah, if Lamar Jackson is back there, I can't just put 2 safeties and a corner over the top and just try to seal off the back end of the field to stop, Jameson Williams from breaking the seal and going for 70, 80 yards because Lamar Jackson he can run it for 30 before you get there. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying perfectly, 100%. What up, though, Zach J? All right. So let's get into this. It says, how Lions can improve usage of Jameson Williams. This is an opinion piece. And we'll see if we agree, yes or no. I didn't write it, again, because also remember, this is the bye week. Okay? This is the bye week. Or the bye week was last week. Okay? So the show is the show. All right. we got to have things to talk about. All right. Number 1, what is the biggest area Lions must improve in the second half of the 2025 season? Okay. So this is a round table. All right. Christian Boer says, I'd like to see the Lions be more consistent on both sides of the ball. Defensively, Kelvin Shepherd has been excellent as the coordinator, but the group is still working on starting faster. In doing so, the Lions could experience even more success. I can't agree with that fully. What I can agree with and I'm not disagreeing with what he's saying, but what I'm saying is it's not scheme related so much so as it's personnel related. We just played a game, and it was one of our most dominant games. We just played a game with no starters in the secondary. Most of it due to injury, one of it due to suspension. So having everyone intact and everyone there and everyone able to gel together. We just got Elaine McNeil back. We're going to get Malcolm Rodriguez back at practice. Dan Campbell's talking about starting his clock at practice. He said that last week as well, right? Um, they're talking about, again, I don't like mentioning this guy, but they're talking about getting Ahmed Hassanin back maybe week 10. And again, Ahmed was a 6th-round rookie project. I don't know how to I don't know how to quantify his impact on this defense. He's a 6th-round rookie that if you get him back in week 10, he's missed the first 10 weeks of the season. As a 6th-round rookie, he's had 0 developmental time. The tape that you see from Ahmed Hassanin right now on the way back from injury is bench pressing. I can't stress this enough. Pump the brakes. If he comes on the scene and he's wrecking shop and he comes in, he does the James Houston where he plays 7 games and he has 8 sacks, then I'm wrong. Because him and James Houston went in the same round. But guess what I wasn't doing with James Houston before he did that? Talking about James Houston as a contributor. Talking about James Houston as anything. Paying any attention to James Houston. Now, maybe history will repeat itself, and maybe I should be more prone to saying, well, we did it with James Houston. No, I'm not, because it is another player. It is a different player. It's a different body. It's a different dude. So I just want to see it for myself. Okay? If I see it for myself, if he shows me for myself, then I will be the first one to say, hey, man, I was wrong. I was wrong. Because I'm not going to sit up here and gaslight you and tell you, no, I never said that. I was on the Ahmed Hassanin bandwagon from day one. No, I have never been. He's a 6th-round rookie. He was drafted in the 6th round. There must be a reason that happened. But also, Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. And there must have been a reason that happened too. But he turned out to be the greatest quarterback of all time. Will Ahmed Hassanin turn out to be the greatest pass rusher of all time? Probably not. So just let us. Okay. So that's people coming back from injury, all these other things. I think the defense will gel the way that it needs to. Okay. Vito Chirco says, I'd like to see the Lions get a bit better at stopping the pass in the second half of the season. And some of this is predicated upon Detroit getting healthier, right, and getting several key pieces of the secondary back in the coming weeks, i.e. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Avonte Maddox, and DJ Reed, right? Okay, there we go. So our priority backup was even hurt with Avonte Maddox, right? You know, you have a priority walk-on. Our priority backup was even hurt with Avonte Maddox being out last game. I'd also like to see the Lions find a way to get Jameson Williams more involved in the passing game on a weekly basis. Jared Goff and the offense are already performing at a very high level, but if they can incorporate Williams a bit more, I think it would allow Detroit to become nearly unstoppable. You see, is that logical? Is it logical what he just said? Okay, the offense is doing what they're doing. They're doing their thing. It's fine, but it's not unstoppable. Don't you want an unstoppable offense? Listen, man, we won a Super Bowl. We are Detroit Lions fans. We've never been to a Super Bowl. Any help that we can get means it makes our path to the Super Bowl easier. If we can get Jameson Williams going, and blow the top up off the defense and literally have defensive coordinators having nightmares, which is what we thought would happen, then that would improve our chances of getting to and winning a Super Bowl. Here's me as a defensive coordinator right now. Hey man, how do you stop Jameson Williams? You just put a couple safeties over the top and they won't throw the ball to him. Oh, okay. Is that the game plan? Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Right? Here's me as a defensive coordinator, how we want it to be. How you gonna stop Jameson Williams? Man, I mean, they just get him the ball in so many ways. He's all over the field. It's just I'm not gonna be able to sleep all week. I'm not gonna be able to sleep all week. So then when we get to the game and we're calling the game, I'm gonna be falling asleep on the sidelines. I'm just not gonna be able to do it. You see my hair? It was black, now it's gray. That's what we want defensive coordinators to be saying and doing, but they're not doing that right now because you just put two safeties over the top and they won't throw it to him. Yeah, he just runs clear out routes all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been what? It's been 7 games for them and he's only got 20 targets. Yeah, just you know. That's what's happening right now. All right, let me get to some of y'all. I'm afraid of this. See, I'm not doing that. I'm not going back and forth. I've already said what we're doing here. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna repeat myself. All right. Who are you excited to see return in the second half? Christian Boer says, I'm really excited to see DJ Reed get back into the action whenever he's able to return to the field. I thought he was really solid for the defense prior to his injury and would be a nice return for Detroit's defense. Granted, the Lions may do against the Buccaneers with a host of unsung heroes, but at some point, Reed will need to be back and at his best. Chirco, it's easy to say DJ Reed and the various defensive backs that are currently out due to injury. However, I'm going to say edge Marcus Davenport. Oh my God. I don't understand, man. This is what I was talking about in the beginning of the show when I said your boy sees football. A lot of people don't see football. They just watch football. The question was, who are you excited to see return in the second half? Why would you be excited to see Marcus Davenport return when Marcus Davenport has shown you that he can only play 2 games at a time? What's the excitement? My excitement for Marcus Davenport is to hold him out until the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl because he can help you in the NFC Championship game. He can help you in the Super Bowl and undoubtedly will be injured by the time the Super Bowl is finished. Why do we keep doing this? Why? I just don't understand. Why with Marcus Davenport? What is it? Does he have pictures? Were you doing something, Vito Chirco, that you had no business doing and he caught you on camera? What is it with the people who are excited about Marcus Davenport? What is there to be excited about? Please tell me. If you are one of those people, please come in the chat and tell me what the level of excitement is for Marcus Davenport. Why is it a thing? I really don't know, and I can't understand. Zach J says my excitement for Davenport is when he's off the team in the books next year. Right? I mean, I wish you well. I wish you well. You are a human being, and I hope you can go continue your career somewhere else. Dolo Dynamite says Davenport is trash. I don't even think he's trash. He's a good player, but he can't play. He's not available to play. And that's the thing. Oh, why are you excited? He's shown you time and time again. There's no availability. I hope I'm wrong this time. I haven't been, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope so. And did you hear what I said? I didn't say I hope Marcus Davenport stays healthy. No, because it's more likely that I would be wrong than for him to stay healthy. And both of those things are the same, but different. I'm saying I'm hoping I'm wrong because I'm a human being and I'm not perfect. So I could be wrong. Him staying healthy is like a miraculous thing. So I'm hoping for a miracle. If I say I hope he stays healthy, I'm hoping I'm wrong. It's something that could happen very easily because I'm a human. You understand the difference? You understand the difference between these things? So I hope I'm wrong. Okay, and that's the way that I say it. That's the way I present it. I'm excited to get Rodrigo back, assuming he's back on his game. Facts. I don't think he would be off. I think he'll be good. Davenport is a less talented Ziggy Ansah, and Ziggy Ansah was prone to injury. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Okay. I thought this. Okay, yeah. Let's skip that. So we get the next question. The next question is where we came. It said, "How could you see the Lions improving how they use Jameson Williams?" This is question number 3. Boer says, I think Williams can be a factor in the run game on reverses and other unique looks. It's like a light came down. It's like a light came down because your boy been saying it. I've been saying it. Okay. All right, let's continue. I also think Williams could be a player who benefits from running more intermediate routes. Mother freaker. Are you serious? Hold on now. Let me get comfortable. Okay. I also think Williams could be a player who benefits from running more intermediate routes in an effort to get in front of the safeties, tracking him downfield. My God, did I not say this in the beginning? I just wanted to let y'all know. I haven't read this article. Okay. I haven't read the article. The only thing I read from this article was the headline, and I knew I wanted to bring it to your attention. I'm showing you my eyes because these are the eyes of someone who sees football. I see it. I see. Okay, I see football. Do you understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying to you now? I synced it. Let's continue with what we're saying here. Because I've been saying the same thing I've been saying, and everybody been talking about, oh, safety's over the top. Safety's over the top. Do y'all know I used to be an offensive coordinator? Do you know that? I used to be an offensive coordinator. It was my job to create mismatches and get certain people the football. So I don't care about a damn coverage that you playing. Oh, we just gonna keep him up for real. Who said he's got to run 18 yards down the field to get the football? Give him the football 2 yards from the line of scrimmage and let him pick up 18 to 20. Williams hasn't had the flashiest start to the season efficiency-wise, but simply his presence causes him to get extra attention from opponents. Chirko says, I believe the Lions will make a concerted effort. It says concerned, but it should be concerted. That's the correct word, journalists. Okay. To get Williams more involved early and often. starting in week 9 versus the Vikings. I also would like to see offensive coordinator Johnny Morton give the fourth-year pro more downfield chances, especially on play action passes. Okay. Now, this I can't agree with because this runs into the problem that we're talking about. I don't know Vito. I don't know his background, but I don't know if he sees football. I don't think he sees it like your boy. Okay, because this is in direct contrast to what Christian Boer was saying. Oh, the problem is we don't throw the ball to him downfield enough. Now I'll read the next question just so we can understand why this is a problem. Okay. It says Williams hasn't consistently stuffed the stat sheet thus far this season, yet he's still a superbly gifted athlete, equipped with elite speed and game-changing after the catch ability. Yards after the catch. Yak. Okay. Now the onus will be on Morton to make him a more active member of Detroit's weekly offensive game plan. Okay. Now, the next question, which is why I don't particularly agree with his assessment about going down the field, especially on play action, with those two safeties over the top and the cornerback tracking him sometimes, right? It's usually two people, sometimes it's three people that are tasked with keeping Jameson Williams from breaking the seal and going 70, 80 yards down the field for a touchdown. Okay. The next question is this. How concerned are you about the offensive line? That's the problem. Boer says, I think the offensive line is a work in progress, and the learning curve it takes to get a player acclimated cannot be overstated. Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany continue to learn on the fly after being thrust into starter opportunities, and I think the group will be playing its best ball by the time the regular season begins. I think you meant the postseason. You got to be more careful. You got to edit. You got to proofread. All right. At this present juncture, I'm not as worried as some. This is Chirko. As long as Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany keep developing, I think the line will be good enough. However, I am concerned a bit about the health of Taylor Decker. I feel like he's going to have a tough time holding up until the end of the season. And if he goes down at left tackle for a significant period of time, it will greatly decrease the line's chances of making a deep run this postseason. And this is why we don't take the deep shots. You just disproved your own opinion about how we should get Jameson Williams into the offense. All right, let's go to what y'all got. Zach J says, I agree with the intermediate routes, but lately teams have been blowing up the reverses with Jamo. And you know why they've been blowing up the reverses with Jamo? It's because when he's down there, you know what he's down there for. And again, if you're stacking the box to stop the run, which you can't really do, but they sometimes are running against 8-man boxes, rarely. Okay. Now, are the Minnesota Vikings the team to run reverses against? No. Unless you back them off, because you know they blitz a lot, even though Brian Flores has probably been doing less blitzing this year than years prior. And also, because he's been developed, I'm going to say something. I haven't said this before, but I just had this thought. Brian Flores can't beat Jared Goff. Brian Flores' blitzing defense that gives so many other quarterbacks problems doesn't work against Jared Goff. And I've said that the defense this season is looking a lot less blitz heavy than it has been. It looks like he's tinkering with his scheme to be more inclusive of everything else. I believe, follow me here, that he's doing this because of Jared Goff. Initially, I said I think he's doing it because he's trying to get a head coaching position, and he wants to show everybody that he can do more than just blitz. But now that I think of it, because this is a divisional opponent, And the division in football is extremely important. It's the most important thing because all you have to do is win and you're in. If you win the division, you are in the playoffs. That is the fastest path. It is the fastest path. It does not matter how many games you won outside or whatever the case may be. It doesn't win your division and you are in the playoffs every single year. And the Vikings can't win the division because they can't beat the Detroit Lions. So Brian Flores tinkering with his defense being not just a blitzing defense is most likely to counteract what the Lions are doing. If we can develop our defense into a more complete defense, and then we can mix up the blitzes, we're not always playing cover zero. We're not always sending the house. We're not always doing this. Yes, we're going to disguise our blitzes and everything, but it's still blitzing. I'm going to disguise my blitz. Maybe I got 2 people coming. Maybe I got 1. Maybe I got 3. Maybe I'm bringing the house. But at the same time, I'm blitzing. Right? So now let me do something a little bit different to try to beat you, because in the entire time that I've been here, I don't beat you. I think Brian Flores, and I think they've beaten us once since he got here. Maybe. I think it's once. So just think about that. That makes sense, right? Because what did I say? I see it. I see football. All right. So do I believe that the Vikings are the team that you should be running reverses against with J-Mo? No, but those intermediate routes, short to intermediate routes. Line him up in the slot and let him run a slant and see what happens. Again, you got to see football to understand why running him on clear out routes and running him on deep routes, it turns into a clear out because, 2 safeties followed him in a corner. That's awesome, right? What you should do, since that works so well, is you should do that on every 3rd down, because it'll take the top off the defense and you've got 3 people out of the pattern who could be covering someone else. So you've got to have someone else open on 3rd and 10 plus. That's why we're so efficient. Oh, wait. 0 and 20 on 0 and 10 on 3rd and 10 plus. 20th in 3rd down efficiency throughout the entire league. Something's not working. Why do I talk about 3rd down? Because 3rd down is the precursor to 4th down. And if you're not getting it on 3rd and 10 plus, and you only got 3 yards, and now it's 4th and 7, guess what you're not doing on 4th down? Going for it. You're punting. Didn't punt a whole lot last year. Right? Remember they did the highlight reel for Jack Fox, and it included him warming up, it included him laughing and joking on the bench, it included him wearing a hat, not a helmet, because Jack Fox didn't do too much last year. Remember when Caleb Williams texted his punter and they drafted him like, yeah, you're not going to punt too much this year. Yeah, that didn't happen in Chicago, but it did happen in Detroit. The punter really wasn't doing too much. All right. All right, let me keep going. What up, though, Master Pimp? What up, though, Motown Mitch? What up, though, Lisa? Motown Mitch says saying Davenport is less talented than Ziggy is not an insult, putting them in the same sentence. It is a compliment to Davenport. Yeah, it is, but I'm just saying they both dealt with injuries, but Davenport's are just worse. Davenport doesn't play. Allow me to one up you. My father ass at 53 is more talented than Davenport. I was talking about his lack of ability to stay healthy. Yeah. So was I. My fat ass, not my father. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what? Does he? I thought you were saying like dad bod. I thought you were saying father ass. I don't know. Fake reverse to J-Mo, bomb to Amon, then run it again and actually give it to him. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. Be creative. Hook and ladder is not creative. It's done to death now. Teams know that you're going to do it. It caught the Cardinals off guard when you did it, and that's why Jahmyr took it to the house. If you do it twice in 7 weeks, I mean, how many more times are you going to do it? I can see it coming. When Amon-Ra St. Brown lines up in the backfield and he gets a handoff or a toss, and Jahmyr Gibbs is near him, it's the hook and ladder. That's just what it is. Why did we release Fuller? Maybe he couldn't get in shape. I don't know. Maybe they were happy with the Legion of Whom, and they were like, well, we don't need you. Since he is ignored. I wasn't ignoring you. I was on a heater. I was on a tear. Going back to who I'm excited to see in the second half, I'm excited to see Ratledge and his continual growth on defense. I'm excited about Aleem. I can get with that. Most of Jack Fox highlights were great holds. Right. For Jake Bates. Oh no, I feel bad about my stupid bitch J-Bo quote. I would like to see more delayed handoffs. I would just like to see more creativity. I would like to see more creativity in the run game. I've been calling for counters, traps. I mean, they might run traps, but they're not running too many counters. Look at, again, Pittsburgh defense is not what it once was. After this show, I will put up my NFC North report for the Green Bay Packers so you can see what I thought about that game. But there were two drives in a row where the Green Bay Packers just ran this counter with Josh Jacobs that went for, I think, did it go for a touchdown or just went for a big game? He started inside, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, for some reason, didn't set the edge. They all flowed down inside, and then he took a counter step and hit it on the edge, and there was nobody there. If you're getting that with Jahmyr Gibbs, that's a touchdown every single time. Okay. They did it with Emmanuel Wilson. This was like back to back, and they fell for it both times. So this is what I mean. Like, just lining up and running the ball straight forward. This is the same. This is the same complaint that Michigan fans have about Sherrone Moore and his offense. Sherrone Moore's offense is terrible, and every big play is a run. Every big play is a run, whether it's up the middle or off tackle. Justice Haynes breaking a big ass run, Jordan Marshall breaking a big ass run. Those are the big plays for Michigan's offense. We're not in 1975. You've got to have more balance in your offense. You have to be able to throw the ball down the field. This is what Woody Johnson just got finished talking about with Justin Fields. He's like, we can't complete a forward pass, right? You can't. If you can't complete a forward pass, you can't win. Okay. So it's not that we can't. I'm not saying we can't complete a forward pass, but I'm just saying for the running game, just be more creative, man. Be more creative. I mean, I've seen glimpses of creativity. Remember, we saw the full house backfield with David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, and Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield, right? I used to have a formation called Castle or Fortress. I think it was Fortress, and it was predicated upon the full house situation. With so many options in the backfield, what can you do off of something like that? I mean, you know how many double handoffs, fake reverses, quick reverses, quick jet sweeps. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can do off of that. We saw this. We saw the far eye formation, similar situation. There's a lot of things that you could do off of that, but you just keep. You don't do it often enough. You don't do it often enough. So that's the issue. And as I said from last game, if you take Jahmyr Gibbs' run away, the 78-yarder, and I don't ever take away runs. You can't take away runs. This was the Saquon Barkley thing. Saquon Barkley, 2-3 yards in a cloud of dust all game. And then in the fourth quarter, he would break an 80-yarder. Now he's got 5.5 yards per carry for that game. But if you don't break that run, Jahmyr Gibbs has 3.6 yards per carry against the Bucs because we keep running the ball into Vita Vea's stomach. David Montgomery had 1.8 yards per carry versus the Bucs. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. I don't care what the numbers say, but what these numbers say is 1.8 yards a carry is terrible. And then we have questions like, oh, is Monty slowing down? No, he's not slowing down. He didn't have anywhere to run the football because there was no creativity. Because we just were like, it's like, I feel like Johnny Moe gets into pissing matches. And I understood the pissing match that he got into with Jim Schwartz. I understood that, right? Because Jim Schwartz is kind of a douche. But Jim Schwartz didn't really say anything, right? Johnny Moe provided the bulletin board material by saying, oh, they haven't seen a run game like ours. Well, what is ours? What are we talking about? Like, what was the game plan against Vita Vea? And why did it include ever running the ball straight at him? You understand what I'm saying? This is what I mean. Like, these are the things that in the bye week, I hope and I know Johnny Morton has self-scouted. And the only thing that I hope is that Johnny Morton is not stubborn enough to understand that he needs to change some things and he needs to get the ball rolling. Right? That's all I'm saying. Well, Master Pimp, got to spend some time with the old ball and chain. God bless and have a great day and night, whatever it is for you over there across the pond. All right, Motown Mitch, we will check you later. All right. Brent DeWitt says Wolverines play calling is ridiculous. They need to take the training wheels off of Bryce SMH. The one thing I will say about Bryce is that he needs to develop some touch. Because on those deep balls, I don't see any touch. And I don't know if they're practicing that through. I don't know if he's throwing balls into trash cans down the field. I don't know what he's doing. But it's like when it's a deep ball, it's just like cock back and launch. You know, like, okay, we know you have a big arm, dude, but you got to bring it down some. You got to be able to hit those receivers. Okay. And then when he hits the receivers, they drop it. So I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, multiple times that game, I saw him throw it was like, I'm throwing the ball out of bounds. No, it's a sideline receiver. You throw it to the receiver. Yes, you may have to put it slightly over, right? So that he's the only one that can get it. And if he doesn't get it, it just goes out of bounds. But when you're throwing it over their head 5 yards, no one was catching it. So, yeah. I do feel like the training wheels are there, but I also feel like he's not being put in the positions to use his athleticism effectively because he also doesn't have a whole lot of protection. That's one thing. So remember, they're rebuilding the offensive line. I mean, how many players on the offensive line did they lose to the draft? You know what I mean? Johnny Moe said, run it straight at Vita. They will never see it coming and then do it 100 more times. Facts. All right. You know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, we go mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they read in you? Mailbag. Snick. Mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Bask in it. Oh my goodness. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Again, if you weren't here before, this is cinnamon. It is cinnamon. it's it's not a blunt, right? Mailbag from Zach J says, "Do you think Johnny Mo's favorite ice cream is vanilla?" Yes. I do. I do. I mean, he could just like just some pralines and cream, something. I mean, pralines and cream ain't fancy, right? But it hits different. It hits different than vanilla. Just a small. You put some pralines in that joint, little bit of caramel. This is a small improvement, right? You don't have to go. You don't have to go Cherry Garcia, right? You ain't got to go Ben and Jerry's on them, but just something. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go Banoffee or banana nofi. You ain't got to do that. Just a little bit of something. Yeah, put some marshmallow in it. You know what I'm saying? Vanilla with marshmallows. You know what I'm saying? Give me some chocolate chip cookie dough. All right. Chocolate chip cookie dough. I mean, that's vanilla ice cream, but you just got cookie dough in it with chocolate chips. Give me birthday cake. Y'all don't know if y'all don't know about Cold Stone. Y'all might not know about birthday cake, but Cold Stone. Anybody, if Mr. Detroit City was here, he could tell you Cold Stone because they'd be down in Florida. But just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Just, raise the bar just a little bit. Exactly. A non-imaginative offensive coordinator is the problem with Johnny Morton's play calling. And I'll get killed for harping on, and there's a lot of people that don't think Johnny Mo is the problem, but when your only trick play is to run the hook and lateral a million times a year, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna do the trick plays. The trick plays that I have seen. Oh, hold on. I gotta change that because I just haven't done that. I have a few more things. Oh my god! Hold on. I gotta change this. Hold on, let me do that now, man. Because I say this every show. Well, I can't change it because hold on a second. Hold on. But the trick plays that I've seen this year were the same trick plays that Osama bin Johnson was running. And I feel some type of way about that, right? Why are we running the same trick plays that Osama bin Johnson was running? We saw David Montgomery throw a pass for a touchdown. I think it was to Brock Wright this time instead of Sam Laporta in Cincinnati. We saw that last year. We've seen the hook and lateral multiple times this year. So if you want to call it unimaginative and a lot to be desired and lackluster, I 100% I agree. I 100% agree. But there's a lot of people that'll kill me for it. So you know, they don't agree. So all right, any more mailbag questions? Get them in, get them in, get them in. Mailbag, mailbag, mailbag. Here we go. Did anybody watch that Packers game? I mean, did you feel gross having to root for Karen? I felt particularly gross. I didn't like doing it. But, The Packers are currently the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's not gonna last. I'm sorry. The Packers are fugazi. They're fraudulent. They're just not. They're not those guys. You know what I'm saying? Um, Not exactly a question, but too bad Glenn didn't take a head coaching job last year. Well, I mean, was the Jets job? I mean, the Jets job was really what he wanted. I mean, what Aaron Glenn is trying to do in New York is the same thing that Dan Campbell did here. It follows the playbook. It's the exact same playbook. Dan Campbell is a former member of the Detroit Lions. He was a member of the Detroit Lions when we went 0-16. Dan Campbell comes back to Detroit, talks about this, the people of the city and the city itself, and how we deserve it, and this, that, and the third thing, and we're gonna be, we're gonna bite a kneecap off. We're gonna be gritty. We're gonna be all of this stuff. And then he proceeded to change the culture here, and then to get the right players in here. And now look at us. We are Super Bowl contenders every year. This took 3 years. This is the same thing that Aaron Glenn is trying to do. It is the exact same playbook. He played for the New York Jets. Okay. The New York Jets is a franchise that's always been pretty much the same as the Detroit Lions. They've always sucked. They've always had, bad ownership. The difference is this: it's the same ownership. It's the same owner that was having his son tell him about who he should trade for based off of his Madden, based off of their Madden ratings. That guy's still there. His son is still there. So I don't know what it's gonna look like. And we're talking about, everybody hates the PC culture and all these other things, but you don't. You let me do that. Okay. You let the podcaster come out and say Justin Fields can't complete a forward pass, and we've gone back to 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You let the podcasters do that. The people on YouTube, the people on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you let us talk about that. You as an owner don't come out and say stuff like that. Just say, hey, yeah, quarterback play has to be better. So we got to figure that out. That's fine. Right? That's fine. But for you to come out and throw the dude under the bus like that, it's just, as the owner of the team, I just don't think you should do that. It doesn't have a great look. You know why it doesn't have a great look? Because other people are watching. Free agents, potential free agents, other NFL players are watching. And when they go, AD cool. I want to play for AG, but that dude owning the team, I don't know. I don't know if he's changed. Right? And because you don't know if he's changed, the culture probably still the same. And you go, I don't think I want to do that. So that is what that is. All right. Any more mailbag questions? I think we should start, because that they've got the term the ball knower. We should call me the ball seer. I mean, pause. Maybe. Right? So says the ball seer. You know what I'm saying? So Motor City Cats are saying the Green Bay Packers schedule is vanilla. They have a third place schedule. So with them being a better team this year, simply by adding Micah Parsons. Now for those people, Rashawn Gary is not the caliber of edge rusher that Aiden Hutchinson is. The only similarity between Rashawn Gary and Aiden Hutchinson was 2 similarities. They play the same position and they went to the University of Michigan. So Aiden Hutchinson is in a class of his own. You can look at his stats this year. I think he leads the league in pressures. He's got 48 pressures by himself. he's like top 5 and top 3, top 5 in sacks and all this other stuff. We know he's top 3. I don't know if Myles Garrett got any strip sacks this week on his 5-sack performance, but I don't know if he did. So I would say, without updating and knowing and looking at it offhand, going into the week, I think Aiden Hutchinson was leading in strip sacks with like 4 of his 6 are strip sacks. So for anybody who's like, oh, well, why would we need someone like a Micah Parsons on the other side of Hutch? We've got Hutch, and Hutch is enough. Well, you see what's happening now with the Packers. Last night, the Packers got to Aaron Rodgers 3 times. Okay. TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith didn't get to Jordan Love once. They hit him a bunch of times, but they couldn't sack him. Right? TJ Watt is the guy who's second to Aiden Hutchinson in the amount and the percentage that they get chipped, doubled, and tripled. Right? When you send 2-3 people out at them to stop them from getting there, those are the 2 guys in the league right now. Aiden Hutchinson has a much higher percentage at 56%. TJ Watt is at 39%, I believe, or maybe a little bit lower than that. Okay. So that's why we talk about winning one-on-ones. Now, collectively, I think they're top 5 in the league in sacks. They've got 23 sacks. So hopefully we can keep it up. And I believe that it is going to get better with Aleem McNeil being there, because Aleem McNeil is your second best pass rusher. But to answer your question, I know I kind of went off the beaten path there. Yes, they have a vanilla schedule. It's a 3rd place schedule. They've made their team better, so they'll no doubt be in the playoffs. Now, are they going to be in the playoffs as a division winner? We hope not, but there's no margin for error for either team, because if the Packers lose a game, or let's say they tie another game, right? If they tie another game, they'll have a whole loss, and it'll be the same amount as the Detroit Lions with 2 losses, but they would have 1 less win in the win column. So then the Detroit Lions would then be first in the NFC and the NFC North. So it's going to be one of those types of battles the whole way through. And the schedule, I would not say is daunting at all for the Detroit Lions, as it looked daunting. But I did say that there was a path that they could go 15-2 again. Now, are they not going to lose for the rest of the way? It's possible. It is possible. What other games do we have on the schedule that we could lose? You always could lose a divisional game. But realistically, with the way that these people have been playing, what's your next loss? I don't even want to say the Eagles. The only reason I would say the Eagles is because you're on the road in Philadelphia. That's it. But what is Saquon Barkley doing this year? Are you scared of Jalen Hurts throwing the football? I mean, if you're the Giants, you are. Just don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not trying to be a slappy, but where's the next loss? And I'm not being Rasheed Walker. No Rasheed Walker. I'm not saying we're going undefeated, because we've already lost 2 games. But I'm just saying, where's the next loss? Find it for me. All right, we did that one already. Yep. All right. Brad Slow moving ass. Let Rams get McCreary. Which McCreary? Rams get McCreary. Oh, cornerback Roger McCreary. I mean, so I don't. If you have to make one trade at the deadline, okay? If you have to make one trade at the deadline, I'm gonna say I'd like it to be an edge rusher because our starters at cornerback, plus the depth that we've shown that we have, I think is good enough. I mean, and we showed you that it was good enough last week against the Bucks. Now they entered the game with Egbuka and Evans, so the only one they were missing as far as the receivers was Chris Godwin. Now Evans left the game, and he may have left the season. We don't know, but we don't have an edge rusher rotation. We've got Hutch and AQM, and again, if you saw me crash out about Marcus Davenport earlier, we've got Hutch, we've got AQM. Behind them, we've got Marcus Davenport, who, again, shouldn't play until the NFC Championship game, assuming that we make the NFC Championship game, right? You've got Ahmed Hassanin, who's not on the team, who's supposed to be back week 10, signed with the Lions, and then play in his first game ever in the NFL. I'm more partial to saying we need an edge rusher, and I think that we can get one of those by the deadline. Do you want both? Well, I'm just looking at the capital that we have. If we're talking about I can get a guy for a fifth and a sixth, yeah, but we ain't got no thirds, so it just depends. If we were to enter a bidding war with any of these teams, we don't have the capital, right? And are you giving up? So I don't know McCreary's contract and all this. I don't know how many years he has left on his deal, but this is like all this type of stuff you got to factor in. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be one trade, and if it's just one trade, I'd rather have an edge rusher. Two edge rushers, if we can do two trades. I'm just not worried about the cornerbacks, right? I'm just not worried about the depth. You know what I'm saying? We've got the Legion of Whom, guys. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. No, stop it. Stop it. We got Tyrus the virus. Stop it. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about that. So I see what you did there. Tyrus the virus. All right, y'all. I don't know what I think I need some tea or something. I don't know, but got to rest the voice. Tomorrow I probably won't be doing a show because I have to go back to court for that traffic thing, because the last time I went, they did nothing but waste my time. I went in there and sat there for an hour and a half and was not seen. So I just asked them to adjourn it. So they adjourned it until tomorrow. So the time tomorrow will be 6:30 Eastern time, which I would have to appear there. So it's not likely that I'll be done. I probably won't be done until like 8:30. I'll probably be there for at least 2 hours because of just the way that they do their system. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do a show tomorrow. But what I will do is I'll try to release the NFC North report for the Vikings, but y'all have already seen me do the Vikings. So I'll release the one for the Bears. while I'm getting my tea or whatever, I will chop up the one for the Packers and release that one. So yeah, I'll release the one for the Bears tomorrow at the same time as my usual show, and then I'll be back the next day. But it couldn't be helped. They do stupid things. I really shouldn't even be going to court anyway because they've got the evidence and they should have thrown the thing out. But they're dumb and they want to be able to charge me for court costs. So instead of having the evidence and throwing it out, no, I've still got to go there and waste my time. I would rather them just say, okay, look, we're throwing it out. Here's the court fee. Just pay that. And I'd be fine with that. But now you're wasting my time for a second day, and that pisses me off. But it is what it is. You know, it's my fault because I didn't want to just roll over and let them, you know, pause. You know what I mean? They're trying to be on that Diddy stuff, and I'm not with it. So, you know. Yeah, I got it. Who's going to check out Predator Badlands? I am not going to watch that movie. As I said last time I was on stream for a game, all they did was play the trailer of that movie. So now I don't have any desire to see it. It looks terrible. You can tell me about it. I don't give a damn. I don't want to see that movie. That's as I said, that's the risk you run when you're constantly peppering people with the damn trailer over and over and over again. I don't want to see it at all. So that's my answer to that question. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Like I said, I need to finish editing that video and make a thumbnail and put it up. And I need to get some tea for the throat. Pause. And so again, I won't be here tomorrow, but I will see you guys. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yeah. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. All right. Mr. Detroit City, what up, though? How fast? As fast as Johnny Morton can realize he needs to get the ball. That's how fast. All right, y'all. I appreciate you once again for stopping through, hanging out for a conversation. I did not have a drink, so no drinking conversation. You think by halftime-ish? To be honest, well, let's hope. All right, once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic, and we are out. Peace.